guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to take you through dealing with stress and anxiety. So for today we're going to deal mainly with the definitions and how to go about it, how to identify a person who has anxiety, different types of anxiety that we may be going through, and stress. So I have a series of books here that are really good in helping out in dealing with stress and anxiety. I have one that's called Stress and Anxiety by Ramon C. Gilbert, and I also have another one called A Happy Heart by Julian Melgoza, who's a very good psychologist. And I also have two books. One is called Sound Mind by Sharon Platt, and also Healing Hearts and Restoring Minds, also by Sharon Platt. So if you're really interested in knowing how to deal with stress and anxiety, I'd really recommend these books. They're really helpful. And most of my blogs that I'll do dealing with stress and anxiety, I'm going to remove most of the material from these books. So I'd like to welcome you all, and feel free to ask questions in the comment section. So we are going to start by defining stress and anxiety, what stress and anxiety is. So according to this book, stress has been defined as the emotional reaction occurring in the presence of certain stimuli. And when we talk about certain stimuli here, we talk about various stressors that are there in our normal lives and the stressing situations that we can go through. Well, it is important to know that stress is not always a negative phenomenon. It can be something positive depending on the levels that it is. For example, one can be stressed enough to be motivated to do something, to carry out a task. Like if we have, for example, exams. Exams give you that motivation, in as much as your mind will not be in the free state, but it gives you motivation to read. So stress is not always negative, it can be positive depending on the levels to which are administered to us. So with that, I'd like us to see if stress is experienced for a long period of time and frequent, then it becomes harmful to our body. So we are going to measure mostly on the negative aspects of stress, because we've said the positive ones really don't affect us much in life. So as I said earlier, stress when experienced over long periods of time or when it is recurrent, it becomes negative and harmful to our bodies. This is because it creates a high risk of people developing diseases such as hypertension, psychomatical illnesses such as headaches, pains in the neck, stomach ulcers, and many other aspects, and especially it builds up to anxiety, which is not something very good to have. So we're now going to talk about anxiety. Anxiety is an emotion that most people, not even most people, I'd say everyone has experienced at some point in life. And anxiety can be defined as a state of restlessness or agitation. I'm sure most of us have been in a position where our minds are not in the free state, our minds are troubled about something. There are diverse causes of anxiety, ranging from examinations, competition. It could also be because of separation from a spouse or divorce. It could be because of grief or loss of someone. It could be because of many things that really cause us to have restlessness and lack peace of mind. And so symptoms of anxiety range from one person to another, but I'm just going to mention the ones that cut across most of the individuals that have anxiety disorder most of the time. These symptoms range from heart palpitations, high heart rate, sometimes the blood pressure could increase. We have people who have very fast breathing and shallow for that matter, and there are those who have nausea, muscle tension, and many other aspects that could not really cut across from all of them, but we're going to get into them while we advance into this course of anxiety. So when one experiences anxiety over long periods of time, or when it interferes with the daily activities of life, it is classified under anxiety disorder, which is also a mood disorder. So we are going to look at the various types of anxiety disorder. We have panic disorder, we have separation anxiety disorder, we have phobia, we have illness anxiety disorder, we have separation anxiety disorder, we have obsessive compulsive disorder, we have social anxiety disorder, and lastly we have post-traumatic disorder. So I'm going to explain all this. When we talk about phobia, we mean the excessive fear of a specific object, situation, or activity. For example, there are people who fear bees a lot and they can't go near them. We call that phobia. We also have panic disorder, which is the extreme occurrences of panic attacks at unexpected times. So people who live with panic disorder always have the anticipation of the next. They really don't know when the next panic attack will really take place. So it creates a sense of anxiety and restlessness. We also have illness anxiety disorder. This is where a person is restless about their health. They always feel like they're going to become sick the next moment, or one form of sickness, one symptom of sickness is revealing to them that something else is going to happen to them. So they always live in anticipation of their health in future, how their health will be, and so it creates anxiety because of that state of restlessness and agitation. We're also talking about post-traumatic stress and disorder. This is mostly created after traumatic events have taken place in life, such as loss of a loved one, or these children who from childhood have been mistreated. When they grow up, they develop these anxiety disorders because of how they were being treated right from childbirth. So we also have obsessive compulsive disorder. This is whereby you have recurring irrational thoughts about something, and it also changes your attitude and your behavior towards doing something. About social anxiety disorder, this is where you have extreme fear of being judged by others in a surrounding society or situational society. And the last one, we have separation anxiety disorder, where it's the extreme fear of being separated or being away from your loved ones. Like, it's extreme. It is not wrong to miss being home, but the extreme aspect can be classified under anxiety disorder. So from that, I hope you can gauge yourself and see where you fall through, or even if not, we have friends around who may be falling through these categories. So through these vlogs, we're going to help them into how to deal with this anxiety disorders. So something that should be kept in mind is that all these anxiety disorders and other psychosomatic illnesses, they all start from the mind. It's all a matter of the mind. So since these psychosomatic illnesses start from the mind, we want to keep our mental health at its best. And so I'm going to help you by taking you through restoring the mind and the process of having a sound mind. And when this is done, I'm sure we'll have taken a step towards dealing with anxiety. So through those steps, I'm going to use these two books mostly. That's why I brought them along. We have A Sound Mind and Healing Hearts, Restoring Minds. All these are by Sharon Platt. And so from the next episode, we'll be using these books to help us in dealing with anxiety disorders. And in this book especially, we are going to have the A to Z of emotional well-being, that is things like attitude and so forth, so on. So with that said and done, we have come to the end of our first session. I'd like to welcome you to the second session, which will deal with the A to G of emotional well-being. Don't miss out. Be sure to check it out. And I'd like to leave you with a word of encouragement that despite the disappointments that we meet in life that make us restless, there is always hope. Whatever has transpired in your past, whatever your present experiences are, and whatever the future holds for you, still healing for yesterday, there is help for today and hope for tomorrow. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can be alarmed whenever a new video is posted.